Imagine a Frankenstein mashup of all your darkest deep-sea terrors, and you just may come close to describing the single most terrifying strip of water on the planet, Drake's Passage. This nightmarish watery wasteland near the bottom of the Earth combines a host of unique dangers with fierce weather systems and bottomless depths. Throw in the possibilities of real-life sea monsters, and you have a journey fit for only the saltiest of souls. Picture biting glacial waters clashing with warmer currents from the north in a ghoulish, frenzied washing machine that eats cruise ships alive. How about the staggering depths that rival some of the tallest mountains on the planet? Or rogue waves that smash up ships like matchsticks? There's a reason the pristine polar regions are untouched. You have to travel through the roughest seas you've never heard of to get there. Here are 6 reasons why you need to be a madman to venture into Drake's Passage. If you want to explore the untouched, pristine paradise of Antarctica, you'll have to pay your respects at Drake's Passage. Drake's Passage is the strip of southern sea that you've never heard of, but would freeze you to the core, and not just because of the frigid Antarctic water. Drake's Passage sits right off the very southern tip of South America and reaches up into the chilly embrace of the Antarctic Peninsula, and is the site of rough seas, monster waves, and more shipwrecks than you can count. Ready to get your polar cherry popped? Here are 6 facts that you've never heard about Drake's Passage. Number 6. Stay out of the water. Drake's Passage sits right near the very bottom of the world, so its temperatures are downright freezing. But what makes this stretch of sea so dangerous isn't just the temperature. Drake's Passage is the world's mightiest washing machine, dredging up chilly seawater from the polar regions and mixing it with warmer water from the north. Sea temperatures can fluctuate 20 degrees, a huge difference when it comes to how kind the sea is. Cold and warmer water do battle in Drake's Passage, forming massive eddies that wash and rinse smaller ships in their currents. Even the bravest sailors shudder to think about the mighty clash of water sloshing around in Drake's Passage. Speaking of currents, number 5 is the sheer number of crazy currents that flow through Drake's Passage. Thanks to the wicked mix of warm and cold water, these currents are the most powerful on Earth. And to honor the sheer terror, you have to contend with the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. The biggest in the world, the Antarctic Circumpolar Current runs a whopping 12,400 miles, splitting Drake's Passage right in half with its mighty flow. Drake's Passage's narrow size bottlenecks the water and makes the ACC even more intense and deadly. Drake's Passage is only 500 miles wide, and most ships can pass through in 2 days, if they make it. The sheer volume of water and cold currents rushing through Drake's Passage is astounding. Even the most seaworthy vessels quake in terror when they have to cross the dreadful Drake. Number 4. Drake's Passage is deep and dark. This perilous polar passage is 11,000 feet deep in its shallowest parts. Many parts of the Drake dip below 15,600 feet. That means that you could put Mount Rainier upside down in the passage and still have room for a colossal sea monster to swim in the space between its base and the surface. That's a lot of water, and nobody knows for certain what lies in wait down there under the chilly waves. One thing is for certain, if the cold water or the massive currents didn't get you first, there's no way you'd be able to swim your way out of Drake's Passage. It should come as no surprise that Drake's Passage is also the site of several strange sea sightings. From leviathans to giant squid, pretty much every imaginable freak of the deep has been spotted in these waters. With so much mystery swirling around Drake's Passage, who's to say what's real and what's fiction? One thing is for sure, you're taking your life in your hands when you venture forth through Drake's deep, dark passage. Our number 3 pick is the worst case scenario that you can imagine when attempting to make your way through the rough, freezing deep seas in one of the most remote parts of the world. Rogue waves can happen anywhere, but they are extremely common in Drake's Passage. These mammoth waves come out of nowhere, and even the sturdiest ships are powerless to stop them. Towering dozens of feet, and sometimes reaching 100 terrifying feet of sheer water, these walls of death cause inevitable calamity. If you're traveling through Drake's Passage, there's a good chance that you'll see one of these monsters up close. Is it the nature of the water in the Drake, or the fact that the seas are so spine-tinglingly deep that causes it to be a rogue wave breeding ground? We might never know. What we do know is that unpredictable seas and surprise gargantuan waves make Drake's Passage a place where only those with nerves of steel dare to tread. Number 2, it's a notorious sea graveyard. After everything we've told you about Drake's Passage, did you really expect it to be so easy? Even so, Drake's Passage is more than just a dangerous stretch of icy deep sea. It's also the final resting place for tons of different ships who rolled the dice with Drake and lost out big. We don't know all of the lives or vessels that Drake's Passage has claimed, but there are horrible accounts that go all the way back to the beginning of record keeping. The cruelest is the San Telmo, which set sail through the Drake in 1819 and never returned to the safety of dry land. What happened to the San Telmo? We can only speculate that it ran afoul of a killer current, towering rogue wave, or perhaps some colossal creature of the deep. Nearly 700 people lost their lives, and the San Telmo was lost to the annals of history. The San Telmo is only one example of a ship that lost the battle with mighty nature. But don't be fooled into thinking that these sorts of things don't happen today. Drake's Passage is just as dangerous as it ever was, and maybe even more, as people get the thirst to travel to the lowest reaches of the planet. Don't get too comfy on that deck chair. Our number 1 pick is the horrifying fact that Drake's Passage eats cruise ships with alarming regularity. Nope, the size of your ship won't do squat to prevent a disaster. Drake's Passage takes absolutely no prisoners, even those who paid big bucks for Antarctica bragging rights. You'll only be able to get through with nerves of steel and sheer luck. In 2010, the luxury cruise ship Clelia II was battered mercilessly by winds and waves in Drake's Passage, lost power, and had to retreat back to the safety of South America. Fortune favored the crew and passengers of the Clelia II, and even though the entire bow was almost submerged beneath the unforgiving waves, they managed to escape. The Silversea Explorer was smashed by a rogue wave in 2013, and the MV Explorer actually sank after colliding into an iceberg, shattering the Antarctic hopes and glory of her passengers. Miraculously, not a single person died. Drake's Passage is not to be trifled with, and this mighty and unpredictable stretch routinely bests and beats even the toughest vessels on the planet. If you dream of seeing the immaculate, untouched regions of the southern world, tread with caution. There is no way to get there without paying the piper at Drake's Passage, and the price of admission is high. Would you have the guts to go to Drake's Passage? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to What Lurks Below.